This haunted Warhammer house represents my dream of one day having a roof over my head. And I've built it only using popsicle sticks and empty cereal boxes. 'Cause I have no money. So, how do you go from a pile of sticks, some old used up cereal boxes, and lack of love to something awesome and beautiful like this? Well, let's go back 7 days. This is my paycheck for the past 6 months worth of work. But suddenly, 7 days ago, that all changed. I'm now a rich and changed man. And naturally, I spent 42 of those dollary doodles on buying my first ever Warhammer vampires. But apparently, that money was supposed to go to this week's video. Damn you, Emil. Which means this video revolves around building an epic gaming piece for this week's session and also not getting my ass fired. Let's not tell Emil, but build a cool house. House building time. To make this build more bearable, let's split it into 5 chapters. Starting with chapter 1, the bottom 2 floors. I use cardboard boxes, cutting them into the correct size shown in the drawings. I then glue them together and slap a shit ton of beautiful sticks on there. If you want to try this out, and just like me don't have any money, we've had some great success asking for free handouts at various coffee shops. I'm sure if you bring out your best puppy eyes, they're happy to give you out stuff. Or maybe you'll just end up looking like a creep and they might call security on you. If you plan out your windows ahead of time, you won't have to use a Dremel to cut out the windows mid-project. Instead, you can cut these windows in the cardboard step. For the second floor, we use the exact same steps as the first floor, but to make things a bit more creepy, let's add the base structure for a tower. Something you can do to save both money, time, and get a bit more variation in there is leave some of the walls empty. That way, in the painting process, we can make it look like plaster walls. Okay, the bottom 2 floors are done. It is now time for chapter 2, roof and tower. Starting with the tower, I made a box out of boxes that fits on the fundaments for the tower. And then added a pyramid-shaped roof. And this time, I learned from all my previous mistakes. I cut out the window before gluing a bazillion popsicle sticks in place. Turns out that's a better idea. It was then time to move on to the rest of the roof, but I had run out of cereal packaging. So Emil told me to build it out of old styrofoam and cardboard boxes we could find in the garbage bin. But don't tell Emil. I snuck into the office and I stole some XPS foam. I mean, it's still free for me, but if you don't have a foam cutter or €7 worth of this, you can of course use free materials you find in the garbage bin, like used styrofoam and then cutting it out with a really sharp knife. I opened up the foam a bit to make it possible in the later steps to add some lights in there. Step 3. The porch. I had to cut out the base for the house, and then started cutting out some spare cereal packaging for the roof. And then slapping on 100 billion popsicle sticks to make it more sexyful. And speaking of sexyful porches, you might wonder who lives in this beautiful haunted mansion. Is it my Warhammer? No, it might be this beautiful awesome pumpkin knife from this week's sponsor, the Witch Guild. They have an incredible range of 32mm playable minis ready for home 3D printing. Included in the price, you also get these big ones, so you can print them as display pieces. The brilliant people behind the Witch Guild are actually the brilliant-minded people behind Witch Song Miniatures, the longtime sponsor of the channel, which means it's only $1 a month. And since this is the first month of the Witch Guild, you will be getting a shit ton of minis, more than you could ever dream on, still for only $1 due. Aside from this month's miniature, the Pumpkin Knight, you also get their half-orc Psychic as part of their welcome pack, and their Hedge Knight totally free for just stopping by their page. And best of all, for Squidmar viewers, you won't even have to pay. Until the end of October, if you send a message to the Witch Guild on My Mini Factory, writing in the code SQUIDMAR, you'll be getting within 48 hours an invitation link for a free month. Just make sure to follow the link down below. I mean, just do it. Just do it. Once I had the rocks carved, I added a layer of PVA glue to protect the build from any solvents in the spray primer in the painting steps. Which brings us to step 4, painting. Apparently, the protective layer of PVA wasn't enough to shield the precious foam from all the nasty chemicals, so they melted. But I swear, 60% of the time it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
I wanted to keep the entire thing really moody to keep in theme with all my cool vampires that I picked up, which meant I kept to dark desaturated greens, grays and beige tones. Final step, I promise. You could be all done by now. And if you use stuff you just have laying around at home or picked up for free from a building site, you'd have a 100% free house by now. Congratulations. But as always here on the Squidmar channel, we take things that extra step. So, of course, naturally, I'm gonna build a massive hill where the house can stand on top of to make the gaming experience more unique and cool and playful. as grädde on the mousse and the prick of the i, it cannot be a true Squidmar video unless we do a resin pour, of course. Let's do a resin pour. Can't fail. Have never failed. Not even once.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Holy Jesus.
My Steves and Stevettes, we've finally come to the point in the video where I beg you for likes and subscribe. Say it with me! That's for damn sure. But now it's time for a grand reveal! And a massive thanks to this week's sponsor, the Witch Guild, and of course our amazing Patreons, and especially the top donors. You guys are awesome. Have a good day. Bye bye!